good afternoon, morning, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing iRacing GTE League, round number 9 from Season 5, the penultimate round here at the Circuit de la Sarthe, otherwise known as Le Mans. My name is King-Kodiak and I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Joining me in the commentary box, always happy to say, my faithful companion for this series, it is StevieSQ.
Hello everybody, welcome along. As I said, it's the penultimate round of this season. Brilliant classic track, Le Mans, lots of long straights. Not actually that many corners. So fuel efficiency, saving fuel where you can, and having some good straight line speed is going to be the order of the day. Big grid, as we have come to know, and you will see an extra name on that grid. Let's get it out of the way straight away. On the ticker, it will say co-commentator. That was me. My bad. I joined as a driver. Moving on.
Moving swiftly on. Now, I seem to be having some technical difficulty, which is not good. Apparently. Now, I'm looking at the numbers. On my side, you seem to be fine. Oops, as Mike Shepard sticks his foot in the wall. Now, I'm getting errors from YouTube side, but the numbers this side seem to be okay. So, those watching in stream, please tell me what it's like, because I can't look. Otherwise, you'll see what I'm seeing stream time. Unless, Stevie, you're able to double check what it's looking like stream time. But I'm getting all kind of errors YouTube side that I wasn't getting before. I'm doing exactly the same settings that we ran on Monday. Ran on Friday, rather.
I will have a quick look.
Please do. I will see if I can tweak anything this side to kind of make it behave itself. But if you, Mr. Stevie, could double check. If it is a problem, I can do a quick restart and try something else. Anyway, let's move on. Let us see who we have got and where. Holstein currently on the top spot, but is not on track at the moment with a 3:45.61.
Sorry, everything seems to be fine from what I'm seeing.
YouTube having a hurricane error then. Fine, I'll ignore it. And unless I start getting lots of errors my side, I will ignore what that says. Stream looks fine. Also confirmed in chat. Thank you very much to you. You, however, Mr. Stevie, sound quiet to me for some reason, so I'm just going to boost your volume because we need to hear the dulcet tones of the SQ.
Okay, let's not get carried on. But yeah, those who can looking at the audio screens, you'll see that there is a familiar name not appearing at the minute. Aeronom, our championship leader, is not here today.
A rare absence from
a very rare absence. So it could be 2 in a row from our reigning champion. Will not be reigning champion at the end of the season, going into next, because he's definitely out of it. So we will see what happens. But he's currently on pole at the moment.
He is. An amazing 3 3/4 minute lap, and we have 3 drivers in the top within a second. That's absolutely incredible. And Drescher has jumped up to 3rd. I was looking at Ina Marinsky as he was in that position, just a moment before in his Porsche. Whoops! Careful. He's just about to keep Porsche on the road. Mike Shepard in 5th position. Only 4 thousandths of a second behind Ina Marinsky. And that's incredible. I honestly expected the gaps to be bigger. Oh, me of little faith. Do we not always have really close grips?
Very easy to forget.
Even here, that is absolutely amazing. Oh,
I think the overall field spread will probably be larger, but from where there is the competition within the middle of the pack, there is definitely going to be some very close. Just to point out as well, because of the extreme length of this circuit, much like with the Nordschleife, the drivers didn't have a practice session. Like they normally have a 25-minute practice session and 15 minutes qualifying. This was just all bundled into one long 40-minute qualifying session. So some people will have come in early when it wasn't quite so busy to try and get a lap in. I know Klima and Dreschler have been here for a very long time trying to get laps in, and it's showing that they're 2nd and 3rd. The downside to that is as the track improves and more rubbers laid down, the track can get grippier, and it could usually be, especially if the track getting, if the conditions are changing, you might want to be out at the end of the session.
Chris Bell from the AM category 8th. There are 38 cars. There are 38 drivers out there, and Chris Bell from the AM category is 8th. What a cracker!
Absolutely.
And Jordan Howson, our newcomer, is a 9th.
Yeah, Jordan Howson had a baptism of fire, I think it's fair to say, last week at Spa. He showed great pace and got his elbows out, but fell foul of the incident limit last week. He mentioned in forum what he did. I can't remember what it was, but he did a thing.
Yeah, but Spa is nasty for that. We knew that before going into the race, and it didn't disappoint. Dan Sasulski jumped up to 4th, so the top 7 in the pro category, then Chris Bell and Jordan Howson. Krista Brojcek in 10th. Great effort for him. He is not on track. Oh, yes, he is. He's on track at the moment. Our numbers are a little bit, do go a little bit skewed. Whilst the back issues that we've previously experienced are improved, there does seem to be a bit of an issue of not always getting data from all the drivers that we necessarily want to. So
this is just one of the things that the size of the circuit means that it's struggling to load all the cars at the same time.
No way, it's just, he needs what he needs.
For those who are interested, it's currently 25 degrees centigrade. Air temperature is 18 degrees centigrade, so that's relatively cool. Also, do you want to just do a quick flick through the championships?
Yes. Okay, the AMs. Ruth Miller leads Merlin Cube by 7 points only. Then Cam K, Domino Towns, also in fairly short order, down to 39 points adrift. Then Van Eyck, Washington, Smith. Then there is Chris Bell, our joint on points with Phil Bedford, only 95 off the top spot. And then Brenneman, Sala Christensen, Potter and Parkinson round out the AM field. In the Pro-Ams, Godefroy leads the way by 28 over Jamie Hoppins and Sarah Dove. Shane, 2 rounds ago she was leading the way, but through misadventures, unfortunately slipping down the order, but is not out of the running just yet. Anything can happen with Martinson in 4, Sluman 5, Gaillard 6, De Bruytek 7, Suonen given to Kreutz will round out the top 10 in the Pro-Ams, with Imrie, Foku, Blackwood and Westgarth rounding out the category. And finally in the Pros, Eridon with a stonking lead, 127 points, but the will decrease. Guaranteed today, unless none of the pro drivers score, which is a little bit far-fetched. The Sasulski and Klima joint on point, 141. And then it is Gaidemeyer 4, Dressler 5, Shepard 6, Holstein 7, Lundgren 8, Marinsky 9, Teden, top 10. How does our teams look? Bushwing Racing, unsurprisingly, right on the top spot on 205. Then Comrade Gaming in second, 146. V3 Racing, 112. Alpine Stars, Geodesic Racing, 94. In 4th position, 3 of the Bushwing categories, in pink, yellow and red. 5, 6 and 7, 92, 82, 65. In 8th and 62. Then AOR Yellow in 9th and 57. And then VEC Sim Racing Rouge rounding out the top 10.
You may want to up your mic a little bit.
I can certainly do that.
Just to point on the teams championship, Comrade Gaming in second place. They've got a big opportunity today. Both Dominic Gaidemeyer and Christoph Holstein are here, 1st and 7th respectively in qualifying now. Team Bushwing Racing's lead driver, Aaron is not here, as said. So the big opportunity for them to catch up. And just a point as well, for the AM battle, it's still for the top 6 for the taking. And for the Pro-Am, it's still the top 4 in the running. So all to play for still.
I have a minor problem. My OBS stopped responding. So I'm forced into restarting the stream. Those that are with us in chat, stay with us. This won't take long. It's fallen over. Again, all the issues are coming out now. So the stream is still, if the stream is still running, which the indications are ironically that it is, I'm going to restart it. I'm not going to take the chance. So those in chat, stay with us. There will be a brief pause whilst I restart my OBS. Right, that should be back again. Apologies for that. It just decided to die. Today has been a very odd day. I found out very last minute when my wife has actually had to go and do something. So my children are upstairs. They're settled in bed, so they're asleep. But it was a kind of like, okay, you tell me this now. then so it was a bit of a rush to get set up on time. Now my OBS has started behaving itself again. Will everything just calm down? Do what you're supposed to do.
Hopefully that'll be it, and we'll all be good.
Yes. So again, those in stream, if you those in chat, if it starts becoming a problem again, YouTube is still telling me that there was a big problem going on, but the numbers aren't agreeing. So if it looks bad, I apologise. Whoa, De Bruyne as he flings his Porsche around the final turns. Wow,
I was just about to mention him. He's our lead Pro-Am qualifier in 10th overall.
What a cracker! Look at that. Only what's that? Only 8 of the top 15 are in the Pro category. Marvin Sluman's jumped up to, he's in 15th at the moment, and it is Canute currently in 16th position. They don't have long to get their laps started. Brenneman, actually, where are we?
I was just about to make a point as well that Mr. Phil Reed had 4 attempts at qualifying laps and hasn't finished any of them. But he's managed to just get on his 5th attempt. He's just managed to complete a time.
Oh, there he is.
He's gone up to 8th place. So he's joined the front pros, but it's taken him some time to do it.
I'm looking at the gaps in between each car. It's just incredible with nearly 4 minutes worth of laps and the top 15 not even 3 seconds separated. So I was concerned before stream, and Stevie told me off for being concerned about this, was that because Le Mans is so big, the field would just spread, and that would be the last we'd see of any fighting. Looking at these gaps, I have nothing to worry about.
I suspect we're going to actually see a similar situation to Daytona, where there's going to be as much fuel saving going on as possible. Just a point as well, drivers who are in trouble are Nick Domino. He's currently last of everybody, including he's behind me, which is interesting. He's on a lap. He's getting an incredible tow from his teammate. Who is that? Richard Brenneman. But this looks like it's going to be his only lap, because the session is finished now. He's got to finish this lap and that's it, so he cannot afford an off-track. Asger Hebsgaard hasn't even started a lap.
Oh dear.
He's had 4 attempts and not finished any of them or invalidated them, and he's in the pit lane, so he's going to be starting in 38th at best.
Polman is out there as well. Christoph Holstein's actually out there on track and still pressing on amazingly. And he's dragging his teammate with him. That's Dominic Gediman right now. He's only got 57 thousandths to find to get to Mike Sheppers, and only another 4 thousandths for Einar Marinsky. He's only 1.1 off of his teammate's pole time. Now, wouldn't this be ironic? And there we go. That's where the slipstreaming has ended. Christoph Holstein gets right out of it. They stream on down towards, where are they? That is first chicane. So he's got 4.5 minutes to get around, which he'll do quite happily. I did wonder how much time this track would give us for once the checker flag fell. And Christoph Holstein's returned to the pits. Klima and Dressler also not on track. Dan Sasolski is. Where's he? Where is he?
He's coming down towards Mulsanne Corner, as we were told off by Alexander Godefroy this week.
I was
it's not the Mulsanne Straight. This is Mulsanne Corner.
Yes. Ironically, I've always referred to the long straight as the Hanadier, which I got told off for doing that, but then I can't remember what the actual explanation given to me at the time was. So, I've always referred to that corner as Mulsanne Corner, and then we're heading down to the rest of the lap, as no one's ever argued with. Everyone knows what they're called. It's only that back straight that seems to have various names. We're heading down towards Indianapolis Manage now, down to Solski. That's what I'm going to call them.
That's what I've got on my map.
And this is a bit of a slide from the Ford, but Dan keeps that one under control. Over to the right-hand side, onto the rumble strip.
A little wide on the apex.
I was going to say, he didn't quite catch the apex, did he? But pressing on nonetheless, you can kind of afford little mistakes like that, but with the grid this close, no. No, you've got to be on it.
Definitely not. It's coming up to the Porsche curves now, and I'll say now, this is on the second part of the left-hander for this. Dan gets a little bit of a slide through the first part. Here, it's relatively easy to tap the wall. And that is somewhere where people are going to get instant point. Another danger zone is this corner here. If you run wide here, you will pretty much get a 1 to 1.5 second slowdown.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty mean. And Dan is bringing it into the pits. He wants a pit lane practice. It's not a bad one to start. It's one that's got its own chicane.
Oh, Shepherds is coming through the Corvette curves. And I think... Oh, no, he's done his lap.
Finished his lap. Yeah, he's just finished his lap. So he's just carrying on just to see how far he can get on his in lap, I guess. So that was Dominic Gadamer is coming towards the end of his lap now.
Oh no, I thought he conned me. He
used all of the pit entry.
Perfectly illegal. Perfectly legal. I mixed up allowed and legal there. Does he improve? Second, right behind his teammate by a tenth and a bit. Oh, so that big old slipstream down the Hanardier really did him a world of good. So the Comrade Racing boys on the front row. Where's Godefroy? There he is. He will start in 11th. Decent effort for him. 347, 370. And I've got no one else on track.
No, that wouldn't be... that looks like the session is over. It'd be people that sat in the pit lane.
Yeah.
That's just causing this timer to run out.
Wrong one. So that is how our grid looks. It is Holstein, Gadamer, Klima, Dressler, Sasolski, Marinsky, Scheppers, Reed, Bell, Hausen, Godefroy, De Bruycek, Riethmuller, Lundgren, Hoppe, Martinson, Sluman, Brenneman, Blackwood, Imre, Gaillard, Towns, Parsons, Teucher, Ike, Zelenika, oh, now that's a name I don't recognise in 27th. McCracken. That is Scott McCracken. Welcome to you.
One of the new... He's a reserve driver. He's his first race with AOR as far as I'm aware.
Kamke, Christensen, Domino, Gibbons, Cooper, Kreutz, Dove, Smith, Hitchcock, Washington, Parkinson, Hebsgaard, and Stevie. Stevie in spirit.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah,
I've done it before. Right.
Yeah. This is going to be an interesting one. But fortunately, we won't have to do a full formation lap here. iRacing is kind enough, and we will grid very, very close. Well, pretty much on the straight that is the... oh, wait. No, we won't. No, we won't. We'll grid before Porsche curves.
We aren't at the gridding. If you're wondering why we're still staring at the pit lanes, because we haven't gone to gridding yet.
No, we've still got a couple of seconds, and then we'll be on the gridding.
Should be heading over to gridding any second now. There it goes. Right. Where are our drivers? Oh, there's one. That's Joachim Lundgren. There they come.
Would you like to know an interesting fact?
Of course.
Mr. Evan Imre, who qualified in 20th position today, took pole position last time we raced here.
Wow. There he is. Yeah, was he in the Ferrari then?
He was.
I've got him as 14th at the moment, but that will change, I would imagine, when everybody is gridded.
Yes.
That's only because there's not enough cars on track at the moment. It looks so close.
Actually, I'm actually gonna stick with Evan as my as I look at how everybody does.
Okie dokie.
He's gonna be the one to watch me, and hope everybody around him is in view if they're gonna have an incident or not.
That's what we're looking at this evening. 38 turns, 14 kilometres. This track, air temperature is 18 degrees, track temp is 22. So, decent enough temperatures. We've had worse in this particular effort. Last time out, we had Erin Arm, our championship leader, as previously mentioned, winning the day yet again over Gadamer. Then Sasolski, Klima, Marinsky, Godefroy, Dressler, Gibbons, Hoppe, and Logan were our last results.
Nope.
I was just thinking that I'm sure Gibbons wasn't in that one. That was the one before, wasn't it?
Oh, that's the one before, because that
panel didn't get updated. Never mind. That panel wasn't updated from the previous race. Never mind. As soon as I saw Gibbons, I was like, sure he wasn't in last week. Never mind. Moving on. We're just waiting.
Yeah,
for
just to remind everybody as well that they'll get 20 incident points for this hour and 20-minute long race. So it shouldn't be too difficult. There are a few danger zones, like I said, towards the end of the lap. The other danger zone is Tetra Rouge. That's pretty harsh. And you can easily get one through Donald Chicane, turns 1 and 2 as well. So they're just the areas to be careful.
Okay, we are rolling then. As Stevie mentioned, not far to roll. The pace car in the Porsche this time. I think you'd have a pretty hard job staying ahead of the field. So looks like we're halfway through the Corvette curves. Oh no, we're not. We are just entering the Porsche curves. It's been a while since I've done Le Mans, so I'm having to get used to my my visual markers again. So we're just coming into the Porsche curve then. You even said that straight as well. I was listening, I promise.
Hey, well, I mean, I got confused just because when you do something the drivers would not have appreciated with this section we have of open qualifying. In lone qualifying, when they get the track to themselves, it starts them just after the Corvette curves.
Oh, right.
So they don't have to do the whole lap. But because we do open qualifying, they have to do the whole out lap. They're big, strong qualifying.
The numbers aren't quite right. It actually shows Jordan Housen would love to be fourth, which you can quite clearly see as more cars are going to do that. The numbers will sort themselves out once they have all crossed the line. Once they've all kind of done about half of that, the numbers will sort themselves out. For the time being, here they come, rolling through. Look at that procession of GTE horses coming towards the Ford chicane. So we'll have the pace car pulling off. There he goes.
Should be able to see or hear the jets as well flying overhead.
Oh, yes. Yep, we can indeed. Don't drop a bomb.
Please don't.
Look at that. Everyone just itching to get going. Very, very closely compact at the moment. And we are going. Christoph Holstein has floored it. We are racing here at Le Mans. Who's going to... Wow. Then Holstein having the advantage of being able to... go on.
We've got Mike Sherper's round and Dan Sasulski, I think.
Oh no, Sasulski, who's started pretty handily towards the front of the grid. Oh, what a great shame for him. I'm not able to kind of jump around because the names are all in the wrong order at the moment. Yeah. That'll sort itself out. Christoph Holstein. Oh my goodness, there's 5 people in the pits already. Was that... No, that's just probably the people that have been affected. There is Shepard right the way down there in 36th position. So started 7th, already come to grief. Let's see go on.
So just to update, both Mike Sherper and Dan Sasulski both dropped it on their own through that final chicane.
Oh dear.
Mike spun to the left. Mike spun to the right. Sorry, Dan spun to the left.
Oh, look at the Comrade Gaming. Oh, Holstein's in trouble. Holstein's made a mistake. He's slow. He's got the whole field coming past him.
That's a slowdown penalty. And it's especially cruel on lap 1 and 2 because it doesn't have a reference time to go off. So you end up losing a lot of time. That's hurting big time. That's down to 6th place already.
It is. Nick Domino is he in the pits? No, he's still going. Just my screen wasn't quite sure where he was. Wow, Dominic Godemir has taken over the lead then. Cleaner 2, Dressler 3, Phil Reed up to 4th position. A stunning start there for the AOR Ferrari as he is right on the tail of Dressler. Is he going to make a move now? Is he going to bide his time? We have a long way to go. It's now hour 20, 22 laps of Le Mans to go. Phil Reed sticking to his position, not making the move on Dressler, coming into the second chicane. Then it is Marinsky, followed by Jordan Housen up to 6th. What a great effort from the pilots here. I love that colour. That's right, I commented on it before. Love that British racing team Porsche that he is sporting. Then it is Chris Bell, an excellent start for him as well. He's up 2 positions. Then in Godefroy and De Bruychek in that particular train. Then right behind that is Lundgren, Martinson, Riefmuller, and there is Holstein.
Yeah, he's taken a long old time to clear that penalty. That's why it's so dangerous on those earlier laps. He's got a long way to fight back now.
Oh, wow, and he's right under the wing. Actually, if I turn that grid off, that grid's going to be really messy until they cross the line, which is going to be for a while. Gone. Dominic Godemir has also fallen to the field. Oh no, the same thing's happened to him. He's now down to 5th, and he's going to be in trouble from the green Porsche as well. There goes Housen and Chris Bell. Oh no! What seemed like such a great start. They've fallen through the field, and Holstein's done it again. I think he's down to 12th.
Yeah, that was why he was even slower down to the Mulsanne corner. It's easy done here. You've got to be very careful. But this is the flip side to getting a slowdown. Slowdown penalty doesn't necessarily mean an instant point. He's still on 0 incidents, but he's had 2 slowdown penalties.
Oh,
but he's put Claudio Klima into the lead of the race.
He has indeed. And he's not hanging around either. He's got himself over half a second from Michael Dressler now as they weave their way through the Porsche curves. That is Dressler, Reed and Marinsky in that particular pack. Phil Reed now up to 3rd. Great effort for him. There is Enoch Marinsky in the Porsche. Then you've got Jordan Housen with Chris Bell. Again, I mean no disrespect, but you don't often find an AM category driver in 6th. What an absolute cracking start. I mean, if anything is going to stir up the grid somewhat, it's going to be here, let's be honest. As
absolutely.
A few people kick up a bit of dust coming through that, using the pit lane entry, as we saw during qualifying, perfectly allowed. It opens up the entrance into the 4 chicanes, and over the line they come then. Klima leading the way by just over a second. I can put the interface back on, because now the numbers will sort themselves out. There we go. That's just the way that the interface is fed data. It's corrected upon crossing the line. Oh, Riethmuller is in trouble. He's,
I think he had an incident, or either a slowdown or a poor exit out of the chicane. It's meant he's had to really have it. Oh,
that's Marvin Sluman. He looked exceedingly slow through.
Willing to take a gamble. He made a mistake at turn 1. Oh no, he same thing. Slowdown penalty. He's trying to clear it just before the corner.
Oh my goodness, he's now down to 21st. So that's gone horribly wrong for him. There's Joe Towns in the Nandos. Oh, that's a spinner. That's Joachim Lundgren. What happened there? He's now down to 14th. Oh, he just dropped it. Oh! Now there didn't look like there was impact from my screen, but there's definitely damage on Joachim Lundgren's car. It didn't look like there was contact between himself and Holstein. Let's have a look at his car. Is there damage on him?
Holstein looks like he's got damage on the rear right.
Ah, so he didn't get away unscathed then. I mean, is that going to hurt him particularly?
Yeah. Oh, he's got damage on the front as well. That's not good here. If you've got straight line speed damage or any bodywork damage, you're going to be really hampered on the straight, and you don't want that here.
It
can be a losing battle if you do.
Oh, Bell and Godefroy side by side. Oh, me of little faith, thinking the field was going to spread out. I know we're only on that 2, but even still. Chris Bell doing what he can to hang on to that impressive 6th position. He's fought off Alexander Godefroy. Wonder a little bit why he can hang on second. He's done it. Of course, how long he's going to be able to then deal with 3 cars. No matter. Here come the VEC coloured Porsche and Ferrari of Godefroy and De Project. Godefroy jumping out to the inside. It's heading towards the Mulsanne corner. And again, Bell knows there's nothing he can do about that. That's De Project following suit. Dominic Gaydemer in. There goes some cones. Oops, maybe a little bit of an impact there. Oh no, he's been turned. Impact with Dominic Gaydemer has spun Chris Bell into the wall. Oh, that is tragic. From such a great start from our AM leader, he is now falling through the field with huge damage to the Porsche.
It's not ideal. It's very unlucky for Chris Bell. He was having such a good race. It's still going, but he's slow.
Very slow, isn't he? Dressler under a lot of pressure from Phil Reed. That's allowing Klima to run off. He's got 1.5 seconds now to the good. What's going on with Parsons? Parsons has been overtaken by Tumi Toika for 13th position. When I say what's going on with, basically my interface tells me when there's been a pass made. Now that could be a pass in progress, it could be a pass, a route pass, that kind of thing. Wow, there's Christoph Holstein. He's not having a good one at all with that damage. I think he may have had another slowdown, or he's just really struggling. Is that both front corners with damage?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Chris is going to struggle big time.
Is he going to come in straight away to get that dealt with, I wonder?
From memory, the pit window here is pretty narrow. I remember last time I raced here, I tried something silly with strategy, and it was poor choice. But even without that,
Where's Evan gone?
I was just looking at that actually.
He's vanished. He has vanished. I can't find him.
He's having lag issues.
Oh, he's having serious lag issues. He's actually in 10th, but because he's lagging everywhere, and Holstein doesn't come in. Interestingly, yeah.
No, I think Holstein's going to want to stay out till he can.
Just saw Evan's car parked on the side of the road. I think Evan Ingra's had a problem.
Oh, it might be his pedals.
Oh dear.
Like, I know his pedals have been playing up for a while now. And he said if I suddenly stopped, then that's just why. So that might have something to do with it. It would be awfully badly timed if it was that and he's disconnecting.
Well, yes. That was a great shame, but we did just briefly see Evan's AOR yellow car just parked on the side of the road. His name is continuing to fall, even when I am getting... he's going again. Oh no, he's now jumping across the chicane, so he's got definite trouble of some description, does the AOR yellow Ferrari. A great shame. His teammate Canute is up into 9th, so he's had a fairly decent start, jumping back up to our front runner. Still 1.5 seconds separates Dressler and Klima, and gonna fly into Wojciech and swap position. The Porsche now ahead of the Ferrari. But look at that, Jordan Howson now in 5th. It's really broken away to about a second from De Bruyche. What's the ideal slipstream window here?
Slipstream you generally get if you're within 6 to 7 tenths of the car ahead. You get a little bit if you're within a second, but not a lot.
Sorry, Stevie. Okay. Sam Blackwood's had trouble. What's happened here? First chicane in the forward. Oh, he's overcooked it. Yeah, so easily done. What's happened with Dressler? Is it? Oh, no, nothing. Klima lagged. Oh, Phil Reed and Nina Marinsky side by side. And the Ferrari just managing to fend off the Porsche, but now Phil Reed having a lot to do. He's fallen out of that slipstream window of the Ferrari ahead, which is Michael Dressler. Again, Nina Marinsky thinking about a move on the outside coming towards the Mulsanne corner, and thinks better of that. Whoops, that's looked very slippery for Phil. That seems to be the common line, to wander a little bit wide on the exit of the Mulsanne. So
you'll find that. You'll find that. Just an update, by the way. Evan has disconnected from the session manually, not internet disconnected, but his day is done. Soren Cruz, Matthias Salo, Christensen have both also left the session, as has Asger Hebsgaard, who I don't think took the grid. People in the pitch: JJ Parkinson, Anthony Washington, Scott McCracken, Chris Bell, Jamie Smith is out. He's carrying. So that's an update on that. Also, just worth mentioning, something we kind of mentioned at Spa. Porsche is not the best at straight line, go fast thing. So Enon Marinsky is fighting with a one-hand tied behind his back, basically, for this afternoon. He's got 3 Ferraris in front of him, and all of them are going to be better on the straights than he is.
He's hanging on in there as well as he can.
Oh, Phil very wide through the Porsche curves. It's going to ruin his line through the rest of it.
The wall was waiting with open arms, but he managed to keep the Ferrari good and true. Phil needs a bit of luck, I think. There's a few drivers that are a bit overdue for a bit of luck. I think Phil Reed might be one of them. Oh, Enon Marinsky, he's having to think about it. Is he going to? No, he thinks better than trying to dive on the inside of the Corvette curves. Ford chicane, rather. You could do it, but you have to kind of rely on being seen by the person you're passing. Wow,
absolutely.
That's a different line. Okay.
Worth pointing out as well, Joachim Lundgren, who had that spin at Tetra Rouge really early on, he's up to 16th still. He's got a lot of... Well, he's got Jeremy Hoppe in front of him, and then he's got a bit of clear air if he can get past. But he was carrying... I watched him carry so much more speed into the Porsche curves behind Jeremy Hoppe, so he's definitely losing time.
Whoa, that is Marvin Sluman. He's just lost the position to recovering down to Solski, who was 23 positions down. Wow, not quite that many down. He started in 5th. He is 23rd. He can't have lost 23.
Enon Marinsky has got past Phil Reed. Phil Reed had a...
Where are they?
I think Phil Reed had a slowdown or a really poor exit out of the final chicane, because Enon was passed in before turn 1.
There, look at that. Jordan Howson is doing his best. He's now been challenged again by the Deutsche. The last time it was less than 4 seconds between himself and Phil, and this battle with Reed and Marinsky. May well get stuck into this one. We will see. Phil Reed then staying very much in the slipstream of Reed and Marinsky as they chase off after Klima, who still is around 2 seconds. He's ever so gradually, same as we saw Holstein. It was last week, wasn't it, when he was just gradually just opening up the lead lap on lap, but
yeah,
not by big chunks every lap. So yeah, that tells you how long that panel was. Of course, that was a race that Erinom actually had to fight for position, didn't he?
And then he finished fourth.
He did.
Didn't even make the podium.
In the end.
Yeah, just to point out as well, as we are... my timing's gone. I can't...
That's a great pass from Sebastian Riethmuller for 12th into the second chicane. Well, that's close. Toyka nearly slamming into the back of the VEC colored Porsche. The VEC Noir Porsche. That's Riethmuller's second in the AM class. He's having a pretty decent run.
Yeah, he wants one as well. Merlin Cooper, his rival, is all the way down in 19th overall. 4 wide nearly back here. Oh, wow. With the Sam Blackwood, Mike Sherpas, and Merlin Cooper, and Dan Sasulski's there as well. That's going to be brave. You sort this out before you get to the braking zone. Merlin Cooper on the inside. He's backed out, as is Dan. Oh, wow. That was crazy.
That would have been a little bit of a clenching moment, but no one wanted to back out of that. That was great stuff. Very nicely driven by all our drivers there. Chickenhausen. That's close. So coming through on Harsh. I know they condense up in the braking zone anyway, but it's still very close when they're less than 3/10 apart. That's absolutely crazy to see. There in the background is Dominic Gadamer. Speaking of, where's his teammate? Holstein, right behind Richard Brenneman. There is our damaged leader. Hanging on to 11th at the moment. I think it's fair to say he's hanging on to, as opposed to challenging for. Look at that! If we go on the nose of our champion, our multiple champion Ferrari, he's got no answer. Look at that! He's even in the slipstream. Brenneman is just pulling away.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough old afternoon for Mr. Holstein now. If he can get his car repaired at the pit stop, I'm sure he's going to want to do that. Just as an update, which is what I was going to say earlier, with 15 minutes gone, your pro leaders, as you know, it's Claudio Klima, Michael Dressler, and Phil Reed. Christian Broicek, Alexander Godefroy, and Knut Martinsen are your Pro-Am podium. And your AM podium is currently Richard Brenneman, 10th overall, as we've been hounded by Chris Holstein, Sebastian Riethmuller, and Marco Zelenica.
Nice. Very, very nice. What has happened to Jordanhausen? He's disappeared. Oh no, Phil Reed's had a problem as well. No, he hasn't. He was in 4th before. Never mind. Oh no, Phil was in 4th a minute ago. In 3rd, rather. Or was he?
Phil was in 4th.
He was in 4th. No, I'm going completely crazy. But we do seem to have lost, our amazing privateer of Jordanhausen.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye and see if he disconnects. Ronnie Gibbons has quit session as well.
Oh, a shame.
Paul and him.
Oh, look at this slipstreaming exercise going on. The Porsche review on Marinsky's car probably screaming itself. Well, you can hear it screaming itself to death. Sounds like an angry swarm of bees as it's coming down the Hardier. Oh, Phil, no, that's not how you do that. That's surely got to be. That's going to be a couple of points. Yeah, he was. What's happened to Parsons? Nothing's happened to Parsons. He was in 12th, but he is right behind Sebastian Riethmuller.
We've got lots of little groups going on here.
Marinsky! That's Marinsky for 2nd on Dressler. He's got him. I wonder if it looked like Dressler backed out of that. He didn't fancy going too wide into that second chicane. Good rid of him. Got a void right in the tail. Did he?
Yep.
Interesting.
Jordanhausen has disconnected, not manually though. He's not his internet that has let him down there.
That is tragic. One of the best races of the season he's been having. Okay, he's only been with us for a few races, but even still, that is such a shame.
Luck of the draw, I'm afraid. That is the way the cookie crumbles.
Afraid so.
Craig Parsons is going to allow to have a look again on Sebastian Riesemann coming down towards Mulsanne corner. Sebastian going to make Craig go the long way around if he wants it, though. It's not really what you want, but it gives you the arguably better racing line. Riesemann managed to just hold on to that, but he's a little bit on the gravel. That is going to give Parsons a much better run.
Here he comes. Enough of the slipstream to get in the momentum heading down towards Indianapolis. He's got to get it done quick. He's going to have the outside from his late apex. That is what Riesemann is hanging on for. Who's going to have the stones to break late for this? Oh, he got it done. I honestly didn't. Oh, that's Riesemann jumping straight to the inside for that right-hand kick, but Parsons is through into 11th position. Nicely done. Started 23rd. But a pretty decent race. There's our privateer Ferrari, number 4. So Toyka is having a look as well. Whoa, hello, that's Dan Suzuki that's having a fight with people. My goodness, that's Sam Blackwood. There was almost looked like he punched Marvin Sluman in the face there. Oh yes, Sluman is not happy around there. Sorry, that's Gaillard that was flashing advice. He was not pleased about that particular move. But they press on nonetheless.
Yeah, this is a big old train back here. We've got Merlin Cooper bringing up the rear of it, which is not really which is kind of good, which is where you want to be if it all kicks off in front of you. You're there to capitalise, but on the same plays, if it all kicks off and there's nowhere to go, you've got nowhere to go.
Well, yes. Where's our leader? There he is. What's his lead as they come over the line? Wait for the timings to update. Well, looking back from this Ferrari, he's in 3.1 seconds now. Here's Claudia Klima's lead over Inar Marinsky. Inar Marinsky has the fastest lap by 2 thousandths of a second over the race lead. 3 minutes 47, and you're that close. That should be illegal. But do it again.
Just an update as well. Alexander Godfrey has taken control of the Pro-Am battle. He is now leading his class. The Pro-Am Championship leader putting down his marker, although he's got sister teammate Chris Dobrojcek, they both face for varying versions of the EC Sim Racing. Dobrojcek not going to be battling him by the looks of it, but they do have Dominic Gaydemeyer, who certainly will.
Oh yes, and he's dragging Knut Martinsen, who's been hanging on to the back pretty well of Dominic Gaydemeyer for the last few laps. Moving it off the back second between himself and the 137 Ferrari, but Dobrojcek and Godefroy have been swapping position all day long. So that battle, I don't think is going to resolve itself. The VEC Sim Racing Noir are with Dobrojcek and the VEC Sim Racing Rouge of Godefroy, so they're owned by the same organisation, you could say, but certainly not teammates in the truest sense. Very much Red Bull and Toro Rosso in that regard.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, Brenneman, Holstein! They are swapping positions. Holstein's actually had a decent drive. That puts Holstein up to 9th now. The sad departure of Jordan Howson. And I wonder whether Brenneman let him go. As we mentioned before, about you know who your battles are realistically with, but Holstein is 11 seconds now behind Knut Martinsen. That just goes to show how badly that race has gone for him. And Richard Brenneman could. He's going to have a go, isn't he? Or could potentially have a go.
I think this is kind of a situation of Chris is definitely faster. He's just not got the straight line speed to get past. And I think this for Richard will be, if you can get ahead, I'll let you go, but you need to go.
Yeah.
Go down the road and leave me alone. Or arguably even better, it's great for Richard if Chris has got great pace, even with that damage, and can pull Richard along. Richard can save a lot of fuel and go quicker.
Dobrojcek's got back ahead of Godefroy. It's a fairly clean move. Side by side going towards Indianapolis. The Ferrari let the Porsche go. And Zelenika. Oh, that's side by side with Sheppers. That's for 16th. The privateer Amford letting Mike Sheppard go, the pro. I mean, he showed Sheppard's had an incident on the opening lap, didn't he?
Well, technically, he had an incident on the formation lap.
Oh dear.
He hadn't even started the race. That was him and Dan Sazulski. They both spun before at the final chicane, before even starting the race.
Oh dear. That's well, could be worse. You could be the pace car for an endurance race and spin off. I've never done that. There's no evidence of that.
There's a hell of a train forming, by the way, behind Craig Parsons now. You got 3 cars behind him, Sebastian Reesman on the team of Toyota and Jeremy Hoppe. All right behind him, and not far behind them. Oh, that was wide by Reesman, but he's got that position. I'm going to look at that again, just because I want to see how wide.
Parsons had a big old wiggle on. I was actually on the rear bumper as also that's Timo Toika that shot through. Oh no, that's Hoppe. Hoppe had to take avoiding action, I think. Come here. I'm trying to grab his name. And see. Let's ride on board with the Porsche. Oh, yeah. As he tried to take avoiding action, I think the rear's locked up or something got away from him. Oh, as he's trying to return to the track, he nearly swipes out Dan Sazulski. Oh, no. What a shame for Jeremy Hoppe.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where Jeremy would have been better to just straight line that final chicane and just rejoin on the pit straight rather than trying to rejoin it perpendicular to the track. Just an update as well, we have lost Chris Bell.
Oh, there he goes. That's Parsons' round.
Right,
we saw that unfold, unfortunately. Oh, be careful that you rejoin. Oh, that was going Van Eyck. So down to 20.
A heart attack.
Yeah, that was a clinching moment. Back up front. Phil Reed is right on the tail of Enar Marinsky again.
And Michael Dressler has dropped off his batting ring.
Yeah, a little bit, but he's still there. But he is 1.1 behind.
Got Timo Toika and Joachim Lundgren swapping positions. For a second, I thought Joachim was going to try and go around the outside. That's Joachim, a pro driver, being pressed by his sister teammate. Although they may be just working together here to get some straight speed.
There is Riefmuller. Second place running hand drive at the moment. Oh, that's Lundgren. Sorry, Toika, I think. Oh no, Toika being passed by Lundgren.
Yeah, I think this is. Who's that? That is Mike Shepherd. Out to punish them for them working together. How dare they?
I mean, that again was a bit of a clinching moment for Mike. He's committed to the move, and suddenly a wild Ferrari appears.
Yeah, they've got to be careful because they've got Marko Zelenik and Dan Sazulski just behind them as well, ready to capitalise.
Yeah, that's the view from the nose of Dan Sazulski as he continues this conga line. And Dan's got to be careful, he's already on 10 incidents. Out of 20, I think it is. GTEs, that's close. He could smell what flavour chewing gum Marko Zelenik was chewing at that range. Goodness me. And right behind them, Jeremy Hoppe after that spin. And then you've got behind them Gaillard and Cooper, not too far behind either. So, we're much further in than I thought we would be with big old clumps of fighting going on. Again, I would say, oh me of little faith and pace, also true.
How dare you undermine the competitiveness of this league?
How dare I doubt?
Yeah, just a point on update on the incident limit. You're right, and Dan Sazulski's already on 10. Merlin Cooper's also on 10, running in 19th overall. I'll just have a look down, see if I can see anybody else on more. They seem to be high. Yeah, we're down to 28 drivers now left. Ben Hitchcock appears to be our last runner.
Knut Martinson's closed back in on Dominic Gademan.
He hasn't
catching up to.
That is Ben Hitchcock.
That's Ben Hitchcock. Oh, get out of the way!
That was not really ideal for Dominic Gademan. I think Dominic thought he'd go through the corner before trying to let him through.
I caught Knut out as well. That's cost him a good second off the back of Dominic Gademan. I mean, that was just bad, unlucky timing more than anything else.
Oh, Holstein in. Holstein's finally bringing his car in after half an hour or so. Decided he's going to see if he can get that bodywork fixed. It might not harm him to take some extra time just to get that done and make him more competitive if he can. Or he's going to be carrying that to the end of the race.
Who shall we look at then? There's our top sorry, that's not our top three. That's second, third, and fourth. Marinsky, Reed, and Dresser. They have spread out a little. And Klima is 4 seconds further down the road. That's in there. But the geodesic racing Ferrari can still be seen by those behind him, so acting as a bit of a carrot in that regard. Then you've got Godefroy, who, wow, Godefroy is broken away from De Bruytek's broken away from Gadamer to about, I can't get these names right at all. De Bruytek, him, has broken away from Godefroy, that one, by about 1.5.
And behind them is Dominic Gadamer.
There's Gadamer. Still dragging Knut Anderson. Now, Knut did, we saw a couple of laps ago, Anderson was out of range, essentially, out of slipstream range.
He might have a go. He might have a go because Gadamer had a... Me doing it now. Gadamer had a poor exit out of that first chicane. Yeah, here goes Knut. He's going to have a go.
And he had the pace, easily had the momentum. Through he goes. Nice and clean move. Gadamer didn't put up any resistance to that. And now the boots on the other foot will Gadamer attack the AOR yellow Ferrari as they come through that second chicane. 4 seconds or so between Knut Anderson and Alexander Godefroy. Oh, well, Gadamer looked like he had a pretty good run on the exit of that chicane. Good enough though, pretty much matching the pace of... Oh, what's happened to Ruthmiller? Mike Shepherds has flown past him, that's what's happened. So pretty much doing exactly the same thing as we've just seen. Ruthmiller has been demoted into 11th. Mike Shepherds going up into 12th.
And just behind them, you've got Dan Suzuki, who's kind of broken away from the pack behind him, which is Joachim Lundgren, Marco Zelenika, Timu Toika, and Philippe Gaillard, and Jeremy Hoppe closing in. And they were nearly 3 wide at one point down the Onodier. That one. Definitely not the North Sound Straight. At one point, they were nearly 3 wide.
Yeah. Whoa,
they are super close.
Sorry, that wasn't Gaillard, that was Hoppe that was running wide there. And that, look at that, you just again get the feeling something's going to happen. They're that closely compact. On and on and on and on they go. So, Zelenika so good for a move.
It's going to be brave go for a move in towards that King. Although Gaillard's gone for it.
Gaillard, wow.
That is a brave move. It's actually very difficult to do because you practice the whole time with that racing line and not on the inside line. It's very easy to lose the car through there.
Very nicely done. I went to watch it again actually because that was a stunning move from Gaillard on Timu Toika. Zelenika keeping the pressure on Joachim Lundgren directly ahead of him.
This is definitely our biggest and closest battle at the minute.
I think so.
1, 2, 3, 4 cars and fifth is on their way.
Hoppe's only 1.2 behind it, so he could well get involved. Phil Reed, what's happened to you? You've had a problem. You've fallen behind Dressler. What's happened to you?
Oh, Gadamer is it.
Where did Phil lose that position to Dressler?
I'll go back and have a look.
I'm having a look now. I've gone back about 30 or 40 seconds. No, that's still behind. He was in third. I'm sorry, he was. He was chasing Marinsky. So is he going to figure out what happened to Phil Reed? Or am I going really... No, he was in third. I'm sure he was. Oh, Gadamer.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
No, he lost it on the exit of the first chicane.
Oh, he lost it a while ago then.
He lost it a while ago.
So Gadamer's it. How long is he going to be stationary for? He's in there longer than... Oh dear. He's going to be in there a while then.
How long was Holstein?
Yeah, how long was Holstein in for?
Holstein, well, I mean, I've got an interesting timer. Mine says 3 minutes and 56 seconds, which I don't think is quite correct. But I will say,
20.3 seconds I've got on mine. And, if that's the case, that was darn quick repair work. Because he's right. He has
not been fixed. He has had no damage fixed. He's content to go with that to the end.
Okay. Oh, Hoppe, what's happened to you? You've been overtaking the Cohen Van Eyck. Oh, side by side. Oh, we're going to have a look at that. Oh, he's had a... Oh, there he goes. So he's had a big moment. Oh, that's someone coming out of the pits. Oh, no, big spin. That's a Ferrari off into the dust. Ouch. Was that... No, it wasn't Cohen Van Eyck. Oh, that's a big damage there to Jeremy Hoppy's car. I'm not sure which Ferrari that was. Has gone for a bit of a spin. Oh dear. What should we have a look at now? As our field now finally beginning to disperse. It's taken quite a long time for them to disperse. In fairness, Joachim Lundgren is right with Zelenika. That pack has dispersed. I mean, a number of people have pitted, so that is why these packs got dispersed.
So just to update on that incident at turn 1, it was Gaillard who dropped it through the King up towards the first turn, which is weird. I guess he just got on the brakes too early while turning still, and it's put him into that extra long pit lane exit, which we don't use.
Hoppy! Sorry, Stevie Hoppy spun. Ow! Yeah, we saw him have that big incident. He's climbed into the wall, struggled to get struggling to get his car going. He's waiting for a decent spot to do it. Oh, wrong button.
It's Team Mutoy car, I suspect, will be in the pits this lap or out. He got rolled over.
That was the Ferrari got smashed
That was
into.
the Ferrari. Yeah, it was Jeremy Hoppy that collided with Timu after Gaillard came back. So Timu tried to avoid Gaillard, and then it's all kicked off.
Then it all went horribly wrong very quickly. Oh,
it all happened.
And oh yes, we saw some of it. We didn't see the entire incident, but we did see a fair chunk of it. Looking at the timings now, with quite a few people now spread out because their various sparring partners have pitted. Joachim Lundgren is close to Zelenika. It's the closest battle we've got at the moment. The rest of them are fairly well spread out. But when everybody is pitted, that may well be a very, very different story.
Absolutely. And I'll take this opportunity just to give you an update on your class battles. So your pro is Klima, Marinsky and Dressler. But you knew that already. Your pro-ams are Krista Broidchek, Alexander Godefroy and Knut Martinsen. Knut Martinsen slowly closing in on those VEC cars. And your ambassadors are Richard Brenneman, Sebastian Riethmuller and Marco Zelenika. Because
I thought we lost Brenneman then, but no, he pitted, didn't he?
He has pitted, yep. So Riethmuller is extending his championship lead considerably at the minute. Because Richard Brenneman is down in 11th in the championship. After I think he won last time out as well. I think he won at Spa. And who did I say was in third?
In the AMs?
Zelenika.
Yes.
Zelenika is unclassified on the standings.
Oh.
So he's not going to be challenging Riethmuller either. All he's doing is taking valuable points from Berlin Cooper.
Riethmuller has got Dan Sasulski, who continues on his recovery charge. Down for company as Joachim Lundgren, and the other Birchfing Racing Ferrari, chasing on after Marco Zelenika. Right behind that looks like Michael Dressler. It's not, it's Anthony Washington. Ignore that comment entirely. Oh, Riethmuller has just been passed by Dan Sasulski. That, I'm afraid, was fairly inevitable down the 98. And once again, the AM leader, race leader I should say, didn't fight that one too hard. Pro Ford go. And we'll sit in the slipstream. Enjoy a big old toe there, I'm sure.
Jeremiah has come back out and is running in 25th position. He's just started the lap now, and his teammate Holstein is coming down towards the first chicane.
It's not going to be a good points for the Comrade Gaming team, I think.
For a team that started on the front row, I think they're going to be disappointed with that.
Yes.
But there's a long way to go. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Yep, absolutely true. So, Riethmuller and Dan Sasulski, we mentioned that one earlier. And there in the background, you actually see Lundgren and Zelenika. And that's a pro on AM battle there for 12th overall. And that wounded Ferrari is struggling to get past the Ford. Presses on nonetheless.
Absolutely, and up front the third place starter, Claudio Klima, leads the way and is slowly, steadily extending that gap over Renar Marinsky. And Klima, I would like to point out, is one of the few people who genuinely dislikes the qualifying purpose. Just genuinely dislikes his qualifying format. Yeah, but is doing incredibly well regardless.
Yeah. And it's about half a dozen drivers still on 0 incidents.
Absolutely. And Renar Marinsky on 6.
You had a fair amount of fighting to do with
it's true.
Phil Reed and Dressler, who are quite a way behind him now, 3.5 seconds.
So, I don't know whether that was Klima's normal line, but going through the kinks towards turn 1, they were on the gravel.
He doesn't seem to be slowed down at all by it.
No, doesn't seem to bother him.
Oh, Nick Domino in chat. His race has come to a halt.
Oh, Jeremy Hoppe has left, as has Teemu Toika.
Oh dear.
I think I can understand both of them. They both had their fair share of incidents.
Sadly so. Who shall we have a look at?
I'll tell you who's moving up some places at the minute, and that's Tara Dove. She started 34th and is up 15 places at the minute. She's running 19th.
That's Merlin Cooper directly ahead, so she looks set to gain a few more positions. Where does she sit in?
She's third in Pro. Oh, who's that? She's third in Pro-Am standings.
She's currently in 19th position. So she's, what, 4th, I think, currently in the... Let's rotate that round. Come on, come back to me. There we go.
He's 6th in class.
That one, getting the wrong button. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, 6th. But, as we've already seen, anything can happen. How many have we got left? 25?
No, more than that. I think we got 30. Anthony Washington is still running around. He had that incident on he was involved in an incident on lap 1 though. So he's 31st, but he will gain places because a lot of people in front of him are no longer racing. Ben Hitchcock is 25th, yeah.
So 26 cars still running. That's quite a high attrition rate.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I can understand it in the sense that it's over late, don't get distracted. don't call something that's not happening. No, I think just because of the way this track is a little bit more unique in its characteristics and losing so much time through one incident, or if you go down on straight line speed, I think a lot of people are a bit more eager to leave. Not so for Mike Sheppers though. After that first lap spin, he's making up another position now on Richard Brenneman. Richard lifts out of that long before the Mulsanne corner, just to make it easier on both of them, which it does, because both of you can take the racing line you want.
He's 2 minutes behind the leader, unfortunately. Oh no, that's my data going completely cuckoo. He was telling me he was 1 minute 53 behind the leader. It's actually 45 seconds behind the leader, which is still a fair way, but nowhere near as much as what I was originally being told. 17 seconds behind Canute, but I thought Michael pitted, and really hasn't done anything of the sort. Who's lead that has pitted? Holston, I suspect.
Yes. That. We'll have a look at his lap times, because he's been on his own for a little bit.
Will he have to come in again?
No, he should be fine now.
Okay.
So his last few laps, well, since he pitted, were 3:51.0 and 3:50. His best was a 3:49. But so he's done that with damage. Compare that to, say, Godefroy, whose last few laps are 49.4, 50.3, and 49.7. Holstein's not hugely off the pace. He's certainly down on speed. But
not
he
enough to warrant fixing it.
No, apparently not. It's catch-22, because if you spend 30 seconds in the pit and you're only 2 seconds a lap down, you've got 10, 15 laps to go. Is it really worth it, considering
that's the thing, isn't it?
how much track time you're going to lose? And flick that back on, can you make it back up with that extra 2 seconds of lap pace?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And the car might be difficult to drive, or more difficult than you initially anticipated or practiced with. But at the end of the day, if there's no realistic game, you may as well just fight with it and carry on going.
It's also one of those things, and I'm not going to say it's happened to a lot of people, but it can do, where you spend your time getting 20 seconds of optional repairs to get a front wing or the front bodywork fixed. You go out and hit something and you've done it again.
You do it again, yeah. That's always the downside, or potential downside of pitting early, isn't it? Is, you may well pit early, try and get a bit of open space or what have you, but one incident and you've got to do it again.
Yeah, it was. Do you remember that race we covered in the Formula 1 3.5 Donington, where they had that phantom damage down the Craner curves?
Yeah, we talked about that a lot, didn't we?
Yeah, like you can pit when you like, but you get a fast repair. And if you get use that fast repair early on your outlap, you could need that again. So yeah, do you want a fun fact as well about this track?
Go on then.
If you go on board with Philippe Gaillard's, oh no, too far. He's got to go past it. Go Merlin Cooper.
Yes.
And go to maybe Chase Cam. On the right hand side, you'll see it's KFC. Just in case you're hungry.
Ever seen that? Oh, that's a Sluman and Parsons passing Sluman. That is for 16th position. Sarthe is. Oh wow, that's a screaming Porsche for Merlin Cooper. I think he may have made his gears a little short. Well, his top gear possibly a bit short, because it sounded like he was bouncing off the limiter somewhat.
Yeah, like we said, Porsche struggled a little bit with that straight line grunt as it is, so a lot of them will shorten that gearing just a little bit. It hurts because you're topping out, but on the flip side, you at least reach that top speed a little bit quicker.
Sarthe, a straightforward pass on Merlin Cooper.
Position she's made.
About 3 seconds slows into this battle. Ryan Sluman chasing Craig Parsons.
I'm wondering why.
Oh, hello! That's Lundgren and Gaillard. That's very close together with Zelenika.
I was just about to point that out. Lundgren was behind Zelenika as they went through turns 1 and 2. And was very close, so I kind of expected to come back to these and see them switched around. Lundgren hasn't.
3 cars, 3 marks, 3 different classes.
Yeah.
Being led by the AM, the Pro in the middle, and the Pro-Am at the back.
Yeah.
Gaillard, what's he thinking of doing?
He's done this before.
He did. He wisely backed out of that. I think that would have
wasn't quite close enough to make that one work.
Sluman side by side with Parsons. Same bit of track. No, backed out of that. He didn't fancy going on the inside and hanging on to that.
No, it's one of those things. If you're on the inside, you've got to make sure you get it. That is pretty much usually a flat-out corner. If you're on the inside, you need to be lifting, if not a little brake. Otherwise, you're going to understeer into the car alongside you and kill them.
Again, putting the pressure on Zelenika. Here comes Gaillard. Gaillard acting as our camera car. Oh, he had to think about that. He had a great momentum heading up through into the Porsche curves, but just didn't want to try and commit to that. And you've got to have a lot more momentum than the guy ahead of you to make a successful pass there. Let's be honest, much more the safer route is the one he's gone through.
Yeah, that's more of a LMP1 passing a GTE car move rather than, same car, same class tactics.
There's Sluman hanging on to the back of Parsons. Parsons he's privateer. Oh, and that's Parsons in.
Interesting.
Fair enough. Oh, Zelenika has just been passed by Lundgren. Oh, Lundgren's had to slow down. Don't take Gaillard off. That's the thing as well. If you know one car's behind you, and then you let them go, not realising there's somebody else right in their tyre tracks.
Yeah,
it could have got ugly.
It's why you general rule of racing is it's unwise to follow somebody else through. If someone goes for an inside line, or a dive to the inside. You don't want to just follow that car through because, okay, the car being passed will accept that one car is coming through, but might not realise two are. And you're just likely to get spun around or pinched on the apex, and not really what most people want.
Passing to Cam K and Cooper have all come into the pits. No such goings on for these three as they continue their fight. That's Cohen Van Eyck in the back of the shot, and that is Gaillard having to think about it on the inside of the first chicane. Doesn't quite get alongside Joachim Lundgren and stays in position. Whoa, nearly shoving the Ferrari through. I want to get on with it. Hurry up.
Yeah, it got very close for Gaillard. Like I say, he's in that Porsche, so he's using as much of the slipstream as he can. He wants to maximise as much as he can. He will gain, as he is, and he's pulling out of it now. We'll see if Lundgren's got anything to answer to it. Doesn't look like it.
He's going to the inside for the next apex anyway, so that is 12th then for Gaillard. Will the Ferrari have an answer then, heading down towards the Mulsanne corner? Dan Sasolski is very close to and staying very much in the slipstream of Richard Brenneman. And on they go then through the Mulsanne. Heading down towards Indianapolis. Will the Ford get the momentum he needs before they get to the corner? It's looking that way. That's Reith Miller in the back end of the shot. He didn't really get as good a drive as I thought he did on the 8 of Mulsanne, but he has got a big old help in the slipstream. Here he comes. And very dutifully, Brenneman got out of the way. I think Brenneman was just minding his own business there, and perfectly read Sasolski stayed to the inside line through up into 9th, and 5 seconds for Sasolski then to close down Mike Sheppers in 8th.
Absolutely. Joachim Lundgren and Gaillard. Lundgren looked to the inside of that kick, but backed out of it wisely as they go through Indianapolis now. Very close competition between these three. Richard Brenneman, by the way, is my one to watch regarding how well, or on the flip side, how poorly Christoph Holstein's car is handled and driving. Okay. As they were right next to each other when Holstein pitted. Holstein had just been let through when Holstein pitted. So Richard has just carried on and looks to be just running his own race. For the most part, he's not really in any battles, so we'll see how he compares.
Phil Reed has been off the pace for a while. The last few laps have been invalid, I think, if my overlay is right.
Yep.
So I wonder what's happened to Phil. Oh, that looks lively! Wow, that looks very lively coming through the Dunlop chicane.
I'm willing to take a gamble. Phil's struggling with tyre wear.
Okay.
That also, what he just did at Tertre Rouge, might be a slowdown.
Oh dear.
I don't think he's not made a secret about it in the forums, but he's struggled a little bit with managing these cars over a long stint, and because tyres can be a bit of a problem over a long distance. Generally, they have a lot of peak grip for like one good qualifying lap, but then they kind of degrade and they will fall off. But they don't don't continue to degrade, they just kind of stay on an off period. But then usually about midway through the race, they will go through what we used to call the Porsche hacks phase, which is that the Porsche got better with the stint Scott went on, but the Ferrari would have a period of like seven laps. It's a traditional circuit where there was just no grip.
It's a feature.
Yes, if you could power through that, the tyres would usually come back to you, but
that must be quite hard work.
Yeah, and I know it was something Phil and I struggled with a little bit last season. I mean, obviously he's still driving, I'm not.
Well, you chose to join in the commentary box, so it's been great fun for me.
Likewise, I've enjoyed commentating. I'm not going to say more than I enjoyed driving, but it's on par with. Plus, back in my day, there wasn't this many people, so I can look at my previous results of going, I had a top 5 in the first half of the season, every single race, and go, yeah, I wouldn't have done it this season. Not a chance.
Well, Lundgren is from a bit off the back of Gaillard. Gaillard really is on the charge. Now
he's got some great pace. He's really pushing.
He's starting to get on with it, isn't he?
I will say, I find this stuff kind of so amazing. Gaillard's last 4 laps. 3 minute 50.1. 3 minute 50.5. 3 minute 50.7. 3 minute 0.5.
Wow.
The last 4 laps all within 0.6 of a second.
On a nearly 4-minute lap.
Yep, and on the flip side to that, you have Dan Sasulski, last 4 laps, 48.8, 48.8, 49.2, 47.5. And he's just set his fastest lap of the race. I find it amazing how some drivers can just stick to a pace.
Lap on lap. Yeah.
Oh, our leader, talking of which, is in. Pitting from the lead, as Zeno Marinsky's following him in.
On that last lap, the one before he came in, he set the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, he's been getting steadily quicker. Last 2 laps was 47.8, 47.8, 47.6, 47.5, 47.3, and pit. So we're top 5 in.
Oh, 47.6, sorry. My brain registered that as 46. I was like, how did he manage that?
That's qualifying times.
Yeah. So top 4 are all in, top 5 in.
Top 7, yeah, they're all coming in. I guess fuel's run out now.
It's a party in the pit lane, woo!
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they all come out then.
Shepard's in as well, and Dan Sasulski.
Yeah, in they all come.
Richard Brenneman has changed his mind. He was actually going through the Ford chicane, then jumped over the grass. And Reithmüller is in, and Gaillard's coming in as well. The top 12, nope, 13. Salonika 14.
Oh. No,
wow.
Brenneman did wean to come into the pits, but he took that chicane a little bit quicker than he probably should have and understeered off the track.
Oh, Sarah's in as well. Has the bar just called time or something? Is it last orders now?
Yes, the cars have demanded fuel or they won't go any further. This is one of those laps where you have to make sure you get to the line. You don't want to risk it here. You can do a bit of fuel saving here, but you don't want to risk being out without going another lap.
The longer the track, the more risky fuel saving is.
Right, where's Holstein? Holstein is coming down the pit straight, and he's managed to get past Brenneman. Only just, though.
Yeah, there is Brenneman.
Yeah, Brenneman only...
Deploycheck is not far off the back of Phil Reed.
Yeah, Phil Reed's had some issue. Oh, Phil Reed in the pit 3 seconds longer than Christopher Deploycheck.
Did he have damage then that we could... his car looked okay.
Yeah, and there's not a lot they can do about floor damage or anything like that, so we'll see how his pace picks up or equally continues. Fastest stop to me looked to be Christian Deploycheck from what I can see. 17.7 stop.
I would concur. Yeah, pretty close one to that was Knut Martensen, 18.9. Looked like everyone was... Well, 17.8 was Felipe Gaillard. So...
I wonder if some people are using fuel calculators and some are doing maths. Claudia Klima also did a 20.9. Claudia's stop was longer than Phil Reed's.
And he still maintained a 4-second lead.
Yep.
Wow.
Despite the fact they lost 1.8 seconds over Reno Marinsky just in the stop alone.
Wow. Dresch the
Why
third.
they have pushed so hard.
Yeah. So, just realised I've had the wrong delta on my timer screen. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I tend to keep an eye on the gap between cars, not gap to leader. I've had the wrong one selected for quite a while. My bad. Deploycheck is closing in on Phil Reed, so there is going to be a battle for... Wow! That in the background, Alexander Godefroy went through the Mulsanne pretty hard by the look of that. He had a bit of a wiggle arm. And what's going on with Lundgren and Salonika? Wow! An outside move from Lundgren coming into that second chicane to get the move done. That was determined.
I was having a look at it back in it now. It was Salonika tried to make the move on the inside, but he braked too early, and Lundgren is not going to just let him dawdle on the apex.
Yeah.
This is that flip between the pros and the AMs. Like we saw how good Chris Bell was running earlier, but it's these braking zones or these traction zones where it's E for time. Like Lundgren looks like he's had enough fun. He wants this position now, and he's going to hold it.
Well, I mean, we are fast approaching the last 20 minutes of the race. An hour is almost gone. And we're now getting to a point where these moves are going to start to come out. Parsons is close to the back of Sarthe. That's for 17th position. Of course, pretty much everybody is pitted now.
Sarthe continuing to make places. She's up 19 positions at the minute. And she's 7 seconds off Karen Van Eyck. It's going to be difficult.
Anthony Washington, I believe, already ahead.
That's
jumping off the track to get out of the way.
No one can complain about that.
Yeah, not to do it quite so dramatically, but I mean, it's effective. Can't knock him for that. And Zelenika is hanging on to the back of Lundgren after that rather interesting move coming through the second chicane. So that's going to help Zelenika try and close the gap towards Riethmuller, who's next in class. There is about 10, 12 seconds or so for him to close down, so helping hand he will not say no to, I am sure. There's only 3 seconds between Brenneman and Riethmuller. That's for first and second in the AM class.
Just to point out as well, Anthony Washington, who is technically the last of our runners, in 28th place. He had that incident at the start, was taking a lot of time in the pit lane. He carried on and he's now gained a lot of places on people who've quit out. He's got, in one more lap, he'll gain 2 more places. Although Ben Hitchcock's in the pit lane, so he might be another one potentially. He's a few laps further ahead.
I was going to say, they're not on the same lap, are they? Ben Hitchcock is indeed in. Mike Shepherd's very much on his own. You can see the car ahead, Knut Martinson is the next car he will be targeting. But some 8.5 seconds there. It's all spread out now with the exception of here, with a Dvorak on Phil Reed. Now, we've been seeing for a while that Phil Reed's been struggling with his Ferrari. Dvorak bringing the VC Sim Racing Noir Porsche into spiking lanes. Dvorak leads the Pro-Am class by nearly 10 seconds.
Yeah, Dvorak had an amazing start. And he was already pulling away a little bit from Godefroy. Yeah, just to point out as well, your Pro-Am leaders are Dvorak, Godefroy and Martinson, indicated by the green bar next to their name on the standings. And your AM leaders are Richard Brenneman, Sebastian Riethmuller and Marco Zelenika, indicated by their blue markers. Although, Richard Brenneman and Sebastian Riethmuller aren't actually that far apart.
Very Parsons has got ahead of Sarthe. I'm pretty sure that was the other way around.
They are scrapping.
Oh, Lundgren has just been overtaken by Zelenika. Oh no, that's gone wrong.
Down the outside. That one, Lundgren got a little bit on the grass. He just made him. Well, once you're on the grass, you have no brakes.
Yes.
So he very, very luckily managed to avoid Marco Zelenika.
Dove and that's Parsons off. Parsons and Dove were trying to be side by side through that very same chicane, and yeah, that could have gone much worse than it did. Parsons probably bailed on that, as well as he was going a little bit wide coming through that apex. So Sarthe back up into 17th place. But yeah, that was a bit of a scary moment for a few of our drivers coming into second chicane.
Yeah, just to point on Sarthe and Craig Parsons as well. It was actually a bit of a cheeky move from Sarthe, because she kept her nose just alongside to make Craig have to leave her space. Which then meant his line for the right of that second chicane was all wrong.
So yeah, so you had no choice but to bail on it. Oh, Dvorak, very close to Phil Reed coming into the 4 chicanes.
Yeah, Phil Reed's definitely struggling.
Yeah, they bounce over those chicanes. Oops, don't go under the sand. That might help you. Oh, Zelenika, what's happened to you? Oh no, spin. That's the wrong way. That's the wrong way, Zelenika. What's gone on here?
That is carnage.
It is indeed. What on earth happened? Oh, he hit the apex on the outside. He just completely unsettled it. There goes, that was Lundgren and Van Eyck. And Dove and Parsons passed him at some point. Because he's got
I think Marco just braked far too late and far too hard. And it just brought the background. Weight transfer is a thing.
Very much so.
Well, Lundgren's been gifted that. And just an update from Ben Hitchcock in chat. His engine's blown up.
Oh dear.
Which is rare. So he will not be coming back out, I don't think. Not with 15 minutes to go.
Interesting. De Boychek was right under the rear wing of Phil Reed then, but he backed out of it coming into the mark. Oh no, it's in the first chicane. He wants a better slipstream than that. Here we come again. Back onto the 98. Jolly's gonna want to take this over this time. He won't want to stay behind the wounded Ferrari. Is he going to jump out? Or he may well be topping out. Again, he's backed off. You can hear he comes out of the throttle.
I'll listen to see if he's topping out.
I didn't hear him bouncing off the rev limiter though, as we heard Merlin Cooper doing earlier.
Yeah, he just left it out of that.
Interesting. He might well be doing kind of a fuel saving thing.
There wouldn't be. Oh, well, actually, that's not a bad shout. I wonder if he's realised he's underfueled.
Because he had the really short stop, didn't he?
He had the really short stop.
Yeah, Lundgren and Van Eyck have swapped position. So, Cam Van Eyck, third in the AM class at the moment, has just gone past Lundgren. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, you were talking
that
about...
could be very interesting if De Boychek has underfueled and now needs to do some serious fuel saving to the end. And if that's so, being behind Phil Reed is exactly what he needs.
Phil Reed, even with the wounded Ferrari, he's no slouch, so he'll have a decent amount of tow there. I mean, how much... Whoa, bit of a wiggle. That got a little bit hairy for Chris De Boychek. Of course, he'll want to do anything he can to hold. That's the semi-pro lead he's got. If he conks out and runs out of fuel, that's going to be pretty devastating, I'd have thought.
Yeah, that's worst case scenario. Because once you're out. You'll forget once you get down to 0.2 gallons, your car will start stuttering, and then eventually it will die, and you will not be going any further. It's not like somewhere zero fuel means you're in get home safe mode. It's when you're out, you're out. You will not be able to rev. You will not be able to move. Yeah, you will keep rolling if you've got some momentum.
Craig Parsons has wandered off the road at Anage, and that has allowed Marco Zelenika through. That was for 17th. He looked like he just got a bit deep into Anage there with the Ferrari. Easily done. Oh, Lundgren and Van Eyck very close again, coming up to Indianapolis. Ferrari staying behind the Porsche at the moment. Now, I do know, and the particular individual I'm going to mention won't thank me for this, but I'm going to mention it anyway. When we did the Triple Crown event here at Le Mans in Project Cars 2 a while ago, one of our commentators took part in the hybrid LMPs. Came in to do his stop. Didn't for some reason missed his pit box. Now, in fairness, his pit route came out when he was about 3 feet away from him, so it wasn't entirely his fault. But it meant he had to do an entire lap. 1.5 litres of fuel.
Oh no.
Now, for anybody wanting to know, was my faithful companion from the F1 side, that was Hamish Sopwith, that was the unfortunate recipient of that. Oh, we're actually down to our last 5 laps. Oh, there you go. Oh, Chris De Boychek, he's jumping out from the slipstream. Maybe he's had enough of this fuel-saving nonsense. Ooh, locked up a bit. Oh, Phil went to turn in. Oh, but that's put De Boychek way out, way offline. Did Phil get a good enough run to offer that first chicane to have a crack at the Porsche? There he goes. So that's done Chris Dvorak no favours whatsoever, basically.
Yeah, I think Phil braked as late as he could if he was trying to go on the outside, but Dvorak braked even later than that. And it kind of what happened with Craig Parsons and Sarthe earlier. It just meant that the car on the inside, technically, ended up way, way wide and out of shape going through the actual chicane.
So this is the nature of the beast, isn't it? We actually have, as we tend to find in these longer races, where you have this period of kind of peace before the storm, and then in the last few laps is when it all kicks off. We've got this battle here of Dvorak and Reed. We've got this one here, Brennan and Reithmiller.
I was just about to point to that. That's Am lead.
It is Am lead, isn't it? Yes.
And that is Am Championship leader in second place right now.
And there's also Parsons and Anika. Parsons is privateer, so he's not in the class. Oh, that's close to the floor. So several battles going on. Also, coming back to the point I was mentioning about Hamish. Oh, the protect! He's going to have a look on the outside and into walls.
Going to be brave. Someone needs to back out of this. Brave, side by side through there. That's going to be... Oh, wow, they made it as well.
Still side by side as they come through in Indianapolis. Oh, Phil's going to have the inside for Arnage.
Oh, the inside! Oh, it didn't quite work. Didn't quite work. He tried to sell the dummy. And Christian Wojcik's waited for him though. He knows that was his fault. He's let Phil Reed take that position.
Oh, that would have woken Phil up.
Oh, that needs a replay.
Coming back to Hamish's rather unfortunate plight, he did pretty well coming back on mainly hybrid energy in the LMP1S.
Yeah, they're a saviour in that regard.
Oh, that's Reithmiller. Look at Brenneman. No, not quite. That battle carries on. In fairness, he made 1.5 litres plus hybrid energy laugh all the way up to the Corvette curves. He was literally about 500 metres away from the pit entrance. And then
it happens, unfortunately.
Which is such a shame.
Oh, we've also got another battle forming. Merlin Cooper and Dominic Gaydemeyer. Dominic Gaydemeyer struggling really badly to recover. His pace is very much down. He's got some significant damage, I think. So he's outside the top 20 at the minute.
And this won't serve either of them to fight because they're not in the same category. Cooper in our AM category in the Porsche, and Dominic Gaydemeyer, of course, in the pros in the Ferrari. And Cooper has let him go. Oh, who to look at though? Who to look at? Cohen Van Eyck on the back of Jochen Lundgren. They're not in the same class either. It's the same thing, AM versus Pro there. Van Eyck hanging on to the back.
Oh, wait!
What?
Christian Wojcik's behind Alexander Godefroy. What has happened there? He was behind Phil Reed.
Oh, yes, he was.
Oh, he spun at the final chicane. He spun at the final chicane.
How long ago was that?
Just a few minutes ago. Well, just last. Well, actually, a few minutes ago. That'd have been last lap.
Oh, very.
Just now.
I had a decent guess then on how far back that was. There. Oh, yeah, there he is. So coming through the four chicanes, chasing Phil Reed. Oh, that's a. Yeah, there he goes. You saw by how much. Anything. Well, other than the apex.
Other than the apex and the massive curb. But going.
I mean, that's like a dead body there. That is a huge curb there.
Yeah, definitely. It's and these GTE cars are actually one of the few cars that can actually go over those curbs most of the time without dying.
Yeah, until that.
Yes. Just to point as well, Richard Brenneman and Sebastian Vettel are very close again. Coming down towards the first chicane.
Porsche's gaining, Sebastian's gaining. Who's got the bigger stones? No. That would have been very, very risky. He wasn't quite close enough on the PCBC. Oh, here he comes again. He's really close now.
We've seen this a lot, though, from the Porsches of not using that first chicane and going for the second one.
There he goes. Oh, he's gonna have that, surely. Mind you, Ferrari's not giving it to him. He's gonna have to work for it. Richard is not just gonna let him walk away. No, Richard has indeed backed out of that. He had nobody.
Well, I mean, De Bruyne. Oh well, hang on. Reef Muller got a rubbish line through the. Sorry for calling your line rubbish. It was not an ideal line, say, through the chicane. Richard's going to fight him back, and Richard should have the edge on speed coming down towards the Mulsanne corner.
But he's going to the outside though. So who's got the bigger stones this time? That's Felipe Gaillard, I think, in the background.
Oh, they're going for it! This is Amelie right now.
Oh, well played, Richard Brenneman.
Applaud. I want to replay that. That was great.
That was beautifully done. That could have gone very, very horribly wrong. That was very well driven.
That corner is very hard to slow down from. You can approach at such high speed, and it's just enough of a corner to make the inside front want to lock. So to get it stopped on its own is sometimes difficult, but to go around the outside of someone else, mightily impressive.
Godefroy is right with De Bruyne. He hasn't let his fellow VEC Racing Porsche go. One is Rouge, one is Noir. Keep it steady through the Corvette curves. The Porsche's definitely got the advantage there. It's not a great surprise, as mentioned before, the inherent differences of these cars. And of course, their own setups are going to have a part to play in it. There's Knut Martinsson. He's not gaining enough to be able to challenge him, as we have 3 laps remaining here at Le Mans. So
I like earlier you said that there was 5 laps to go. That meant 15 minutes.
Yeah, that doesn't make the race any shorter time-wise. It's just that is a count on how many laps are left.
It was pretty much like it did at Nordschleife, when it was like 5 laps to go. Okay, that's half an hour.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Going Van Eyck. Well, he's close to Joachim Lundgren. He's hanging on to the back of that Ferrari for everything he's got. Oh, wow, 351 for Lundgren. He's not having a good day in that Ferrari, unfortunately.
I'm keeping a very close eye on this lead and battle. These two are very, very well matched on pace.
Yeah.
Richard's held that and battle and lead for a very long time. Well, basically inherited after Chris Bell had this incident with Dominic Gaydemeyer. Reece Miller's looked competitive this whole time, though.
Is it going to be down to the wire, I suspect? Is who is going to blink first, or who's going to throw into the wall?
Absolutely.
Reece Muller not letting go of the American at all. Let's head on down towards Arnage, towards Tetra Rouge. Arnage, there's half an apple away.
That is literally miles away.
Very literally, yes. Through Tetra Rouge onto the Honardier once again. It's the view from the nose of Sebastian Reece Muller.
Does he go past KFC? Don't go through the drive-through though.
No, that's not a good line. Oh, here he goes. He's going to back it. Yeah, every available inch of slipstream from that Ferrari's now the inside line for the chicane. But how is this line going to be? Oh, a bit wobbly.
Got it though.
Well,
whether he can hold it's going to be difficult though. This is where we've seen a lot of the passes made going down between the first and second chicanes. Before he should have that little advantage.
Here he comes.
He's gaining.
And look how defensive Reece Miller's gone. No, Brenneman's backed off.
Maybe he wants to show him up again. To the Mulsanne corner.
Could be.
What's the phrase? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. I'll retire from racing. There are a few corners that if you can go on the outside of it, it's pretty amazing.
Here he comes.
Brenneman's definitely going to have a go here, isn't he?
Which way is he going to go? He's gone outside again. Once again, that was Reece Miller parking his car right in the middle of the track. That could help Gaillard go close in on him. The Ferrari's nose ahead, but no, he's backed out of that.
Reece Miller was wary of it this time. We braked a little bit later just to make sure that the Brenneman was covered. You're not doing that again.
Denied.
That's one of the things you learn when you're racing people. You know, it's why sometimes you're better to surprise your opponent rather than keep trying lots of laps.
Yeah.
Brenneman's going to try to go around the outside now.
Let's head down towards Indianapolis. Who's going to have the bigger stones this time? Who had the Weetabix for breakfast? Let's see. Ooh, well played from Richard Brenneman once again, getting the move done before the braking zone.
I don't think Riefel ever planned on going for that move. I think he just stayed there to scare Richard. Like, well, turn in if you like. I might be there, I might not. Oh, Richard got a little wide there, actually. Oh, this battle is really raging on for Am lead.
Here he goes again. As Riefel, so it's very much a punch and counter punch between these two. But it's all to play for the AM Championship.
You need to sort it out before you get through the Porsche curbs.
And once again, the Porsche ahead. And unless you force a mistake, you're not really going to make a pass through there. Oh, it doesn't stop people trying, but it's pretty damn dangerous to try and move through the Porsche and Corvette curves. So this is where Riefel would give himself a little bit of breathing space, just the corner efficiency that little bit better than the Ferraris, but it's not long before Brenneman is back on his case again, and not too far in the distance. There is Felipe Gaillard. So if they come together, Gaillard's in a great place to. Well, Gaillard won't gain.
Oh, Brenneman! He's dropped it through the four chicanes.
Oh no!
He's still recovered. He's still in second. He was very lucky actually because he nearly got beached on that curb.
Oh, that would have been embarrassing.
That would have been embarrassing, and that would have been game over.
Oh, he was out of shape before he even got there. Oh no, he was just locked up.
Yeah,
there is.
So did those.
Oh, he's gone again. Oh, he's gone again. And it's so. I mean, when the frustration kicks in, it's so easy. Oh, he's. Calm down, Richard. And when you start making silly mistake on silly mistake, it just frustration adds to frustration. It becomes a real big downward spiral. So he just needs to calm himself down. Probably overheat his tires a bit as well.
Absolutely.
To settle himself down and get back into the rhythm.
Yeah, he's got a good gap now. He's got 5 seconds back to Lundgren and Cohen van Eyck. Lundgren's not in the same class, Cohen is, so it's worth him just calm down. He's only got a couple of laps to go. If he just keeps calm, he should be able to get to the end without losing any more place.
Godefroy is falling off the back of De Bruyne.
He has. And Knut Martinson's not quite going to get there, I don't think.
No, he's going to run out of laps before he gets it, unless De Bruyne or Godefroy have a problem ahead of him.
Yeah, unless they start scrapping.
Yeah, Cohen van Eyck is still right with Joachim Lundgren.
I think he's been there for a while.
Yeah, I think he's just staying there. He's not really. He keeps showing his nose to the Ferrari, but I'm not convinced he's actually trying to make a move. Again, this is a Porsche following a Pro Ferrari, so they stand nothing to gain by fighting. There's Sarah Dove in the background, who's in semi-pro, so she won't gain anything from the fight ahead of her either.
The only thing they'll gain is points in the overall championship and team championship.
That's true. I had forgotten about team.
He's going to have a move, it looks like, on Joachim Lundgren. No, it's the same thing earlier as when it was Marco Zelenica. Joachim, you keep. Alright, go to the inside. I know I can brake later than you can. Exactly why did he brake way later than Cohen van Eyck and just took the line as if Cohen had not even entertained the idea of going up the inside.
Claudio Klima has started the final lap. He's actually coming to the end of the final lap. I haven't looked at him for so long, I'd actually completely missed when he started it. But never mind, we'll catch him when he finishes it. Your winner here in Le Mans. Car number 110 of Claudio Klima in the Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing Team. Very nicely done by nearly 10 seconds over the Kodiak StevieSQ Porsche of Einar Marinsky. Michael Dressler. There he is. Ooh, flash of the lights. Not sure who that is. And the 4, 4, 5 is Jamie Smith. And he seems quite happy with that. Is Mr. Dresser. There is Phil Reed. Oh, what might have been for the AOR Hime Ferrari. But fourth, nothing to scoff at all. He will finish off that position. Then it is De Bruyne and Godefroy. Try again. Godefroy. He's been called worse, I suspect. So the 295 Porsche leads home the 257 Ferrari for 5th and 6th. There's Knut. As the two ahead of him slowed down. There was 1.7 between himself and the two ahead. So third place in the semi-pros. Semi-pro. Good grief. Pro-Am. For Knut. Then Mike Sheppers has crossed the line in 8th. Dan Sasulski finishing 9th in the end. Could have been worse. Been a lot better for him.
It was a good recovery.
It was, but not so Not such a good day in the office for our poleman. Christoph Holstein finishes in 10th place. Then Reith Muller is going to lead home Felipe Gaillard in 11th and 12th for the VEC Sim Racing Porsches. I did wonder whether they were going to try and cross the line at the same time. There is Richard Brenneman. Reith Muller already crossing the line as mentioned. There's Ferrari will take second in the AM class. Karen Van Eyck is next across the line, 14th overall, third in the AMs. Sarah Dove will take 15th position. There is Joachim Lundgren. In 16th, then Craig Parsons. He's been in a fair few fights actually today. He seems quite happy with that. There is Marcus Elenika. In the Ford, he's crossed the line in 18th. 19th is Marvis Lehman. And Dominic Gaidemer. Look at the reshaped Ferrari. He's had a tough day, is the Comrade Gaming pair. There's Merlin Cooper in the Porsche. Stefan Kamke across the line. He, I think, is the last. Jake Towns might be on the lead lap, just about.
He is the last car on the lead lap.
He vanished. He's disappeared on my screen.
Yep.
Oh, no, there he is.
Yep.
He's had
there he is.
big lag moment coming into.
There's that was a wall bump. Someone actually touched the wall. I said someone was going to touch, so I'm glad he's done that just to prove me right.
I don't think he's the only one that's hit it. He's just the only one we spotted.
Yes, definitely.
So, 23 cars on the lead lap eventually. I think Hitchcock and Washington 25th and 26th, but a few laps down from where we see the Nando's coloured Ferrari car number 369 will take 23rd overall.
We have people who want to beat us.
We do, but before we do, let's just have a quick confirmation of the results. There they are. So it is Klima, Marinsky, Dressler, Reed, Debrochek, Godefroy, Martinson, Shepherd, Sosowski, Holstein, Reith Miller, Gaillard, Brenneman, Ike, Dove, Lundgren, Parsons, Zelenika, Sluman, Gaidemer, Cooper, Kamke, Towns, Smith, Hitchcock, Washington, and those that didn't see the flag are Parkinson, Toika, Hoppe, Hoppe's now Frog, Domino, Blackwood, Howson, Gibbons, Imre, Bell, Christensen, Krut, McCracken, and Hebsgaard. A lot of people that didn't see the flag.
Yeah, we had a fair amount of attrition today, but
indeed,
Le Mans is a challenge for a reason.
Oh yes. Who wants to have a chat to us?
Well, we've got many people.
Oh wow, we do.
More people than we'll probably be able to get in.
Yes, I think we may have to kind of start picking who we're going to talk to somewhat. You grab someone over, and I'll get the music going.
I'll get our pole sitter in first.
Oh, this will be interesting.
While you talk to him, I'm just going to go and tell the others that they're not all going to be able to get in.
And there he is. Hello, Mr. Holstein.
Hello. Why did Stevie move up there?
Because we have so many people wanting to come and have a chat with us. He's just saying, you're not all getting in. That's basically what that's for. Well, Mr. Wycops, that didn't quite go your way, I think it's fair to say.
No, not really. I mean, the qualifying was really good. Our strategy worked pretty well, I would say. And then I don't know. It's been like that. I think it was 2 seasons ago when we were last here, and I threw that race away as well on the first lap. I think that way. But I mean, even after the 2 slowdowns I had, it still could have been a good recovery drive. But unfortunately, I think it was Joachim Lundgren who spun ahead of me at the end of the first sector on lap 2, and that got me significant damage. So that slowed me down quite a lot. And yeah, in the end, I mean, getting in top 10 is probably the maximum still reachable. In that case, also congrats to Claudio. I mean, it was just super consistent up front, and yeah.
As good as that. So is Le Mans a bit of a kind of traditionally difficult track for you, or was it just a bad day in the office for you today?
Probably a combination of the two, I would say. I mean, every single time we were here in any league race, it didn't really, go as planned in the race. Pace was okay-ish. I mean, the quality lap itself wasn't that great. The slipstream obviously helped out quite a lot, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was also because we didn't have any race running before the race up. We just had 40 minutes of just go flat out in qualifying. Maybe that's also something which didn't quite work out. But I mean, in the end, really, it didn't work out. And sometimes that happens. It doesn't happen that often for me, so that's a good sign at least. So yeah, it just sometimes happens, I guess.
So one more in the season. Are you looking forward to this one, or are you just looking forward to the season being over?
No, I'm looking forward to Silverstone. Silverstone is a great track. I think I said it last week as well. Won my first race, I think, ever in this league here. So should be a lot of fun. I hope Aero is also back for next week, so that we get, hopefully maybe a fight or something going towards the front for the fun race.
You can finally hand over your championship crown.
Yes, I can. So I hope he's there.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Christoph, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Next.
Let's get Richard Brenneman in. He did very well until that incident at the end.
And there he is. Hello, Mr. Brenneman.
Wrong person. Wrong person.
No,
wrong person.
That was your fault. I wasn't actually looking at
That was completely my fault.
I'm not that important.
Cohen, we'll bring you back in a minute. This is Richard Brenneman.
It wasn't me, it was him.
That was my bad. I may have got the wrong username.
Hello.
They both start with A, I'll give you that. Hello, Richard.
And we sound alike, too, apparently. Domino can never tell us apart.
Well, what a fight you had for the AM leads up until sort of the penultimate lap. That was cracking. We were very much enjoying that. How are you feeling after that one?
Just like last week, I'm exhausted and sweaty. I'm really happy to get P12 overall, though. I really did not expect that going into the race. I knew he was going to catch me. Reismuller was way quicker in qualifying, I think by like a whole second. And I could see the relative him just reeling me in. Right before the pit stops, my car just felt like it was on ice. I had no tires left. And I'm just like, what am I going to do when he catches me? How am I going to fight him? And as you saw, I overdid it in the braking zone. My plan was, if I could keep up with him, I could get him in one of the straights and draft him and maybe just keep him behind me. So I was just really trying hard not to let him get too far ahead through the twisty bits, and that didn't work out so well.
I think it's fair to say you made him fight for it, because my goodness me, that was very punch and counterpunch for a long time. So
and I gotta give him some credibility, like for racing me really clean. I really enjoyed that fight. I just wish I had more tires to fight with. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
One more to go. Looking forward to Silverstone?
Yeah, I like the old Silverstone layout more, so it should be fun. Oh, and I did look up, I won Season 3 there. Of course, the only two people in name class was me and Stefan Komke, but I won. So.
It still counts.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
So,
I'm
glad you guys enjoyed that.
Oh, very much so. Very well driven. And yes, we look forward to talking to you again.
Well, thanks. See you guys later.
Who's next?
I think we'll do two more. We'll do Cohen in, because I dragged him in by accident, and then we'll do Sarah because we didn't get time to get her in the.
Okie dokie.
So this is Cohen Van Eyck. This is definitely not Richard.
Hello, Cohen.
Hi.
How are you feeling after that one?
Well, the start was interesting. So I actually lost quite a bit of places there, I feel like. But pace was good, where it was doing 350 flats halfway through the race before my pit stop. So, and then tagged along for the ride behind someone with the image. And I mean, I noticed from Stevie you hadn't seen it, but yeah, I overtook him on the last lap, but things went down.
as the nature of the beast very much here at Le Mans. And that's the sort of thing. I mean, I'm curious to know. We were looking at some cars and thinking, how were they? Well, I certainly wasn't. Stevie probably has a better idea than me on initial setups. Le Mans obviously being a lot of it being flat out, but there's certainly time to be had in the twisty bits. Which way setup wise were you going? Did you just kind of leave the downforce flat, or was there some wings on your car?
I was definitely running quite a bit of wing.
Okay.
I did notice I had pretty high fuel consumption though, because I was in clean air on my own for most of the race, so I did need about 56 liters of fuel. But yeah, especially towards the end, like behind anyone through the last sector, I was just lifting constantly.
Oh, right. I see. So one more to go. Is Silverstone a good one for you, or are you just looking forward to that one being over?
I mean, Silverstone is a track I know quite a bit, so hoping for a good result. Also looking forward to 12 hours of Sebring, so got to balance those two in the coming week. But
well, good luck for both of those, and we look forward to talking to Ian.
Thank you. Yeah.
One more then, Mr. Stevie.
Yeah, let's get Sarthe in. After she had an amazing recovery from 34th
to 18th, I want to say. I know I saw you in 18th for a while, Sarah. Unfortunately, I didn't catch exactly. I can't remember exactly where you finished. But yeah, it was qualifying.
I finished 15th.
Oh, 15th. Nicely done. So, was it just was it qualifying that kind of let you down a little bit, or was it a bit of a struggle out there to find some space? Because a lot of people were very close together during qualifying.
A lot of things happened. I was doing qualifying and I just couldn't get a lap in. If I did a good lap, it had an off track somewhere, or then I spun and then I couldn't get a good one in, and then right at the end, my final lap, I ran out of fuel as I was coming out of the final corner.
Oh,
so no. that was that. And then, so I started 34th, right at the back. Everything was fine on the grid. Get to the start of the race, and then my frame rate became basically undrivable.
Oh no!
For 20 minutes.
Oh.
And I was 3 seconds slower than normal for the first 20 minutes of the race.
Goodness me. Did you have a virus checker running in the background?
No, I don't know what happened, because it was perfectly fine for the whole qualifying, all of the grid, and then the race started and it didn't like something.
What you did there is enter difficult.
Yes, your game decided you needed a handicap.
Yeah, so I couldn't drive properly, and then for the rest of the race, the car felt really weird. I wasn't sure what it was going to do. Normally the Ford is quite predictable, but for some reason it just didn't want to do things. Just a thing for the stewards. In the result, it says that I'm 24th and Phil is 23rd, but we didn't finish there. I think the game put us back after the race had finished for some reason.
Please, can you take it
finish
up?
The race? It's a bit weird.
Please take it up with your local resident Marvin on the forum.
Okay.
He is with all the results. I don't touch the table because I'll break.
Yeah.
Hence why I joined the session as a driver.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, congratulations to Godfrey for winning the Pro-Am, because I can't beat him now, so... well.
Someone else as well between him, isn't there? There's somebody else in between that I think might still have a shot. I don't know.
moving on. So
Yeah,
just
sorry.
Silverstone left, Sarah. Is that going to be a good one for you? Do you think?
It should be. It's a good track. It's fun to drive, so it should be a good race. Even if I can't really, there's not much to fight for other than just
Pride.
pride. Yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing you trackside next week.
Okay. Thank you.
And that is going to be it for this evening. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. Thank you very much for Stevie for keeping me on the straight and narrow as always. Always a great pleasure, sir.
Yes, it's an honour to sit over these races and talk with them. No, I got that all. I'm doing what you've been doing all night.
It's rubbing
To
off.
sit with you and talk over these races. It's been a slightly chaotic stream. Everything's gone wrong that could have gone wrong, but we got through it. No, I mean, hang on. I dragged the wrong driver in. So, you know. But you've only got a couple more rounds and broadcasts of these shenanigans for this season. On Friday, we have the finale of the Formula 103.5 League at Spa-Francorchamps.
Lovely.
I cannot wait to hear those cars going around that track. It's going to be brilliant. And then next week, we have the very, very final round of Season 5 of this league. And as all the drivers have mentioned it is at Silverstone.
Hoorah.
Worth pointing out that iRacing has not updated Silverstone since they introduced the track. So it's the old F1 layout. So that whole new infield section is not there. We've got bridge corner and corners like that.
Traditional Silverstone.
Yeah, Cops is Tom. Cops.
Nice. Looking forward to that.
Let's just end it.
Right. Well, thank you very much to our sponsors for helping AOR grow. Without you guys, AOR would not be where it is. And we will be back next week for more GTE action, as mentioned, but there are plenty of other streams going on for other categories. So do tune in with us then. Thank you very much, and good night.